Hi there. You are now attending the Hoy Talent Academy course on cover letter. A warm welcome to all of you. Cover letter is often required together with CV during the job application, providing you a chance to express your elevator pitch of why you are the perfect candidate for this position and the employer. It is also called motivation letter, a letter of motivation, or a letter of interest. In most cases, they mean the same thing. The term motivation letter is more often used for applying to university or a non-paid position. Many of the job applicants tell us that it is more challenging to write the cover letter compared to the CV. They even doubt whether it is worth investing the time to write and customize a cover letter. So, how important indeed is the cover letter? Here is the answer we get from corporate recruiters in Western Europe. Compared to CV, cover letter is less important. Because CV is normally the first thing the company would look at, and then they may continue to read the cover letter if they have time and find your profile interesting. In general, the larger the company and the more standardized the application procedure, the less important the cover letter. This is due to higher amount of application and more other candidate details they need to screen on. That said, cover letter is still quite important. Not sending a cover letter is a sign of laziness. It's a bit like making spelling and grammar mistakes in your CV. Even if only 1 in 2 cover letters get read, that's still a 50% chance that including one could help you. It's an opportunity to distinguish yourself, so take it seriously. Even when it is stated the cover letter is optional, please still include one. Okay, then what should we write in a cover letter, and how is it different from a CV? Simply speaking, CV is more about who you are, what experience and skills you have, while the cover letter is about answering the question, why? Why are you the right candidate, and why you want to apply for this position and company? We notice that almost all candidates address the first point, but not the motivation part. This is, however, equally important, especially in Europe, because the employers here think that the candidates can only achieve the best performance only if they love their work in the companies. So do include your motivation in the cover letter and make it personal. We will talk about how to do that in our coming lessons. One thing that is less clear is how long your cover letter should be. If it is way too short, employers might think you do not care much about the job. If it is too long, employers might not take the time to read your letter and will not consider you for an interview. Based on a survey asking for the HR's preference, almost 70% of employers wanted a cover letter of less than a full page, and about 25% said the shorter the better. In short, less is more. It should be brief enough that someone can read it at a glance. When you apply for jobs in Western Europe, we would recommend that you have 250 to 350 words, which would take about 1/2 to 2/3 of a page. Since you more or less know what you should write and how much you should write, how to get started then? As the first step, do your research. Before you start writing, find out more about the company and the specific job you want. Read through the job description, look at the company's website, its social media, and even the employee profiles on LinkedIn. It would make a difference if you can do your homework beyond reading the job description. Find out what challenges the company is facing and how your role would help address those. Knowing the company better also helps you decide on the right tone to use in your cover letter. Think about the culture of the organization you're applying to. If it's a creative agency, like a design shop, you might take more risks. But if it's a more conservative organization, like a bank, you may hold back. If you have any connections you can check with, do not hesitate to approach them to ask around the position. They may give you some insider information that you can't find in any public source. Let's also look at what items should be included in a cover letter. A standard one is supposed to have the following 4 components. Header. A traditional cover letter should begin with both you and the employer's contact information, name, address, phone number, email, followed by the date. If this is an email rather than an actual letter, include your contact information at the end of the letter after your signature. Please note that there is a trend that more and more candidates may skip this part in order to make the cover letter cleaner. Again, this depends on the culture of the organization you are applying for. Salutation. Begin your cover letter salutation with Dear Mr. or Ms. and last name. If you are unsure if your contact is male or female, you can write out their full name. If you do not know the employer's last name, simply write Dear Hiring Manager, Dear Recruiting Manager, or Dear Recruiter. It is still better than saying Dear Sir or Madam or To whom it may concern. Main content. We will provide you with more techniques of writing this part in a separate lesson. Signature. To make it more personal, you can consider putting handwritten signature there, followed by your typed name. If this is an email, simply include your typed name, followed by your contact information. In coming lessons, we will show you more tips how to write each part of the cover letter. You can also find some good cover letter examples in the course materials. Stay with us.